I went off and did this men's rites of passage with an organization called Illumin, which is sort of a play on illuminate and man. It's a men's sort of interior soul work organization co-founded by Richard Rohr. We sit in council. There's silence work. There's deep soul work and ritual. Your phones are gone for the 5 days. You don't have access to them. And in the afternoon, as the large group, you're often off in your small 5 to 6 member council. But as a large group, you hear an elder teaching. There's 3 elders there, and they'll teach on a different topic. And this was about halfway through the rites, and there was a man named Steve who told his story, his sacred journey story, like you're talking about with me. And I was already, you have to remember, a lot of things were already sort of at work with us. I mean, the use of poetry, the use of counsel, involvement in ritual. It was really a deep dive. And so I was quite sort of churned up in a good way, and in a way that was really, I didn't have control, which is one of the powers of men's work, because men can get overloaded in that archetype of maybe the warrior, just sort of resisting and trying to control and using sort of force and power, rather than softening more of the masculine archetype of the lover. So as he spoke and told his story and talked about graduating from high school with his lifelong buddy, they played football together. They were going to maybe go play in junior college during the Vietnam War, and how he had somehow avoided getting drafted and his buddy didn't, and how his buddy never came home from the war, and then getting married, and a lot of the sorrow and a joy with having children and health problems with the children. I could really resonate deeply with the loss of his friend, because my brother was killed when he was 31 and I was in my late 20s. He worked in the World Trade Center and was killed when it was attacked. So I just deeply impacted me. And there was an elder who sat up, and he just sat there, and he was silent throughout the whole 5 days, other than he would often end the afternoon session with a poem that he had memorized by heart. So I'm already just quite cracked open and just feeling deeply connected to this man, Steve, and just brushing up against something that I'd never really felt within myself. And then the man sitting next to him named Terry, the elder, recited The Journey by Mary Oliver, which is a quite profound poem. And that was it. The dike broke. And I'd cried, of course, in my life before, out of sorrow, out of happiness, out of pain. And it just was sort of this watering. I felt like it was like a cistern of this water that came up. Everybody, I think, moved on to what was next, lunch or whatever. And I sat there for probably half an hour by myself and just let the watering happen. I guess is the only way I can explain it. And it was a beautiful moment where I felt like something had shifted in me, and it was never going to be the same. Doesn't mean all the issues of which I struggled with were going to be resolved, or, that I wasn't going to have life. But there was something deeply soulful that, even as I explain it right now, it just doesn't feel adequate to explain, right? And so that's another sacred moment in this. And it took the willingness to go somewhere and to embark on something that I didn't really know what it was, but I felt drawn to it.